Hey, what's going on everyone? So with this video we're going to be going over what happens at the end of Thor Ragnarok and how it might set up future events for the God of Thunder and his supporting cast. So major spoiler warning here, obviously if you haven't seen the film you should probably click off the video, go watch it because it's great, and then come back to the video and we'll break it all down here. So Thor Ragnarok's third act begins with Thor, Loki, Hulk, and Valkyrie returning to Asgard after having escaped Sakaar and the Grandmaster's control. Now when they arrive, they find that Heimdall and the surviving Asgardians are actually planning an assault against Hela, and they use this to their advantage as they're trying to fight against her forces and also rescue Asgardian civilians. Now during Thor's one-on-one fight when he calls Hela to his throne room, he actually loses an eye and he begins wearing Odin's old eye patch towards the end of the film, which is actually a really cool thing. I didn't expect that at all. And it was something that's kind of interesting because they've hidden it from basically all of the Ragnarok promo material and some of the trailers, and even the Avengers Infinity War trailer, which I got to see at San Diego Comic-Con. They edited out that he lost his eye in all those shots. So that's going to be a very interesting thing. I'm sure that'll factor into the future films where we see Thor again. Now after Thor's fight with Hela, when things are going wrong, and he calls upon Surtur to finally defeat her and destroy Asgard, because he knows that that's the only way he'll be able to defeat her, because Hela's power grows as she's within Asgard. So she's basically limitless in terms of power unless you actually destroy Asgard, prevent Ragnarok, and weaken Hela. That's when he gets Surtur, and Surtur basically destroys everything, laying waste to Asgard, and he throws Hela, and her fate is kind of unknown, so I'm guessing they left it open for a possible reappearance from the Hela character, which could be interesting because she proclaimed herself the goddess of death, and people had long speculated that perhaps she could be serving the role of death in the MCU for Thanos, which could be a new twist to the mythology, but we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do. So with Asgard finally being destroyed in the final fight, Thor and the survivors decide to leave for Earth to rebuild a new Asgard, as Thor is finally crowned the King of Asgard. So all of this stuff is very interesting, definitely setting up future events for potentially Phase 4 if they get another Thor movie, or just the future of the MCU, because in the comic books, Asgard was actually rebuilt in Oklahoma on Earth, and that was a whole part of the Siege storyline and during the Ragnarok comic storyline when Asgard was destroyed by Loki, and then Thor did have to use gold to buy land outside of Oklahoma and rebuild Asgard on Earth, on the actual surface of Earth, which is very interesting, and I can't believe they're doing that in the MCU, but it's actually pretty cool, and it seems like Marvel is really doing a lot of interesting things that are going to play into Phase 4 and kind of the future of their movies. They're going in bold new directions, definitely going to give us something that's different that we've never seen before, so I like that a lot. It was also teased during the third act of Ragnarok that Loki has stolen the Tesseract from Odin's vaults when they were still on Asgard, and that's going to factor into Infinity War when Thanos arrives. Now in the mid-credit scene for Ragnarok, we see that Loki and Thor are on the ship talking about their return to Earth and if Loki will be accepted after what he did in New York City, and right then their ship is dwarfed by a giant ship, which is one of Thanos' sanctuary ships. And it's presumed, based on the Avengers Infinity War trailer that was shown at D23 and SDCC, where we see Thor land on the surface of the Milano ship that the Guardians of the Galaxy are flying, that Thor's ship gets destroyed and Loki gets taken by Thanos because he has the Tesseract, and that's kind of a bidding ship that he uses so that he can spare himself. So what do you guys think of this down in the comments below? Were you satisfied or not by the ending of Thor Ragnarok? And where do you think they could go with all the pieces that they've teased, like Hela's fate being left unknown, Thor losing an eye but becoming the king of Asgard, Thor and the Asgardians heading to Earth to rebuild anew, and Loki stealing the Tesseract, Infinity Stone, to have in his back pocket for when the Mad Titan arrives? Be sure to drop all your thoughts down in the comments below, and for more updates on Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, and the future of the MCU, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thanks again for checking out this video. If you want to get even more updates from us on our social media platforms, links are down below. Check out our website for the latest breaking news, and if you want to see our content improve, donate to us on Patreon for exclusive rewards.